Sorry. Okay. Welcome everyone. My name is Michelle Larashi and I am the facilitator for this evening's session. I am also co-chair for this event and a high school counselor in St. Louis. It's my pleasure to welcome you this evening, students, parents, counselors across the state that are joining us. So welcome. For this session, I have a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. First of all, when you are in the session, the panelists will not be able to see or hear you. This is a webinar style. So you'll want to ask your questions through the Q&A. So you can type your question into the Q&A box and the panelists will answer your question typically after their presentation portion. Again, your camera and microphone are turned off, so you'll want to use that Q&A box. And we have many more sessions coming up over the next 3.5 weeks. I'm pretty sure all of these schools that you're hearing from tonight will be doing their own individual sessions coming up in the next few weeks. You can find a list of those sessions and register at our website, which is MOACAC.org. You can also find a recording of this session in the next day or so on our website at MOACAC.org. And that recording will be there throughout the fall so that if you have to step away or unable to stay with us for the entirety tonight, you can come back to that recording. I've listened to several of them already this week and they're excellent resources of information. So please check those out. So without further ado, I'm going to say goodbye and turn it over to our presenters. Thank you.
Well, good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for taking the time to join 3 amazing universities across the river. Yep, we're asking you to cross that river and look at some amazing schools in Illinois. The first thing that I want to highlight before we start going into each school is the fact that it is a major quality education offered at each of our 3 institutions. We have world-renowned faculty, and we have some amazing majors that we're going to get into more in depth here tonight that can really help jumpstart your future. In addition to that, all 3 of us are going to offer so much of a different cultural experience for you. Yes, Chicago is definitely a very different culture, but we're all central and southern Illinois, where that combines that culture of downstate Illinois and upstate Illinois, as well as throughout the nation. And that allows us to be very diverse campuses that is going to allow you to learn so much both in and out of the classroom. Finally, by looking at going across the river, you can cast yourself a wider network for internships and possibilities when it comes to jobs, when it comes to clubs and organizations, and when it comes to certifications in certain degrees. And so sometimes there's an advantage based on what you want to do to looking at going into a different state. And with that, I would love to introduce all 3 of us tonight that'll be talking. I'm going to let them go into a little bit more information on them specifically, but I've got Joe Smith. He's with Eastern Illinois, an amazing resource, and he's going to be able to tell you a little bit more about them. We have Sierra from Southern Illinois Carbondale, a great 4-year institution. And then my name is Aaron Betcher. I'm with the University of Illinois at Springfield, and it's a pleasure to have you with us tonight. Illinois Springfield, and what we're going to do, just so everybody knows, we're going to spend about 3 to 5 minutes individually talking about each of our institutions, what we have to offer, and what the culture and everything is on campus. Then we're going to go through some questions, so definitely be posting on the Q&A. And we also had some questions that were submitted ahead of time that we're going to cover as well from students from Missouri and what they typically ask when they look at coming into the state of Illinois. But Illinois Springfield's a really unique university. Illinois Springfield was just rated the #1 regional public university in Illinois again. And that takes into a lot of considerations from what our students are doing both in and out of the classroom. In addition to that, this surprises a lot of people, especially since we have the University of Illinois part to our name, but we were the 5th, yes, 5th lowest school for debt for graduates in the Midwest. Yes, that's a 12-state region with hundreds of schools. We do a great job with the value. We offer out-of-state grants that take the cost of education to what it costs for an Illinois student. In addition to that, one question you might ask yourself today is, what type of student is successful on our campus? And the type of student that really succeeds at Illinois Springfield has nothing to do with the major. It has nothing to do with what your personality is, or even what type of involvement you had in high school. What really signifies a really successful student on our campus is somebody that has a passion for their future, for taking what they want to do and running with it. Yes, we're a very diverse campus. We are the only public institution in Illinois to have a larger underrepresented population group than our peer institutions in the country, and graduate our underrepresented population group at a higher rate than our peer institutions in the country. So we're very successful at making sure that not only are you getting a quality education, but you're also getting an education that's diverse and an amazing value as you go through. Some of the programs we're really known for, and we'll get into these in a little bit, is our computer science program that has Fortune 500 companies telling us that we're in the top 20 schools in the nation to recruit a future tech kid from. And that spans from cybersecurity to networking to programming. And even we offer classes in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. We have the #1 nursing program in the state of Illinois. We house UIC's nursing program on our campus, and we actually had the highest pass rate of any of the 5 locations for UIC nursing, which typically ranks in the top 15 in the nation. We're also very strong in business, where we're AACSB accredited, meaning that the top accreditation for business schools went to our classrooms, talked with our professors and students, and learned that what we're doing not only prepares students for entry-level positions, but prepares them to take those entry-level positions and get advancement. The skills that we're teaching in our business program are very unique. We're very strong in some of the governmental majors like political science, criminology, legal studies, and psychology, social work, because we are in the state capital of Illinois. We'll get into more of that when we talk about our unique programs. Finally, we have amazing programs in the sciences. And that's not only nursing like we talked about earlier, but forensic science. We have a medical lab science program with 100% pass rate for the last 26 years. And those are students doing really forensics work at the hospitals themselves. We also have great programs for students that want to go into medicine. And that could be anything from physical therapy to athletic training in our exercise science programs to your pre-med tracks in our biology, chemistry, and medical lab science programs. And with that, I want to turn it over to our next presenter.
All right, thank you, Aaron. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit more about EIU, and I'll get into specifics as soon as we get into some questions here. So Eastern Illinois University, we are located right here in Charleston, Illinois, about just over 2 hours from St. Louis, or right off 70. We are a small to mid-sized institution here at EIU. I believe this past fall we had an enrollment of 7,800, just under 10,000, and I'm happy to announce that this year we are experiencing our 3rd year of enrollment growth. So our numbers just came in actually, and we are, believe, sitting at just at 8,600. So a lot of growth happening here at EIU, and we are happy to announce that. So just getting into a little bit of some of our core values and some of the things that we cherish here at EIU. So before I get into my slide, EIU was ranked first by College Snacks as the safest campus in the state of Illinois. So campus law enforcement holds our students in high regard. And that just kind of credits our welcoming community that we have here to offer students. So that kind of puts parents at ease. You know, that's what we always love to do. And so kind of piggybacking off of that a little bit, we also offer the lowest cost of attendance in the state of Illinois as well. So we have a high quality education for very low cost. So you don't have to worry about breaking the bank, obviously. And that can be credited to some of our resources that we offer students here. And one of those would be our textbook rental service. So what this system is basically a way for students just to pay a one-time fee of $300. That's $150 a semester, however you want to break it down. And just based off that fee, you can go to our textbook store and you get all the books that you'll need for the entire semester for just that one price. So saves students annually hundreds of dollars a year. So very, very beneficial and very convenient and very for students. We have a lot of opportunities to study for those who have passions. We offer 90 majors. Some of our more prominent ones are education. Our education department is very superb. We produce a majority of the teachers in the state of Illinois. We have a very strong kinesiology and sports studies department, mastered in our sport management myself. So we have a very strong program as far as that is concerned. Our psychology program is also very, very strong. Our speech pathology program doesn't get a lot of shine, but I'm going to give its plug today. So if that's something that you are considering, that's a great opportunity to study here at Eastern. And one of the things we like to highlight is our placement rate. So our placement rate is just at 91%, which is an excellent stat. So that basically means four things. So our students that come to EIU during their undergraduate years before graduation, they either have a job, they're either enlisting in the military, the Peace Corps, or they have plans to continue on into graduate school. And that is so, so important because as we all know, the purpose of us attending these prominent and impactful universities to hopefully secure employment, once it's all said and done and once you get your diploma. So EIU does a great job of preparing its students to be confident and be resourceful whenever they enter that professional realm. Another thing to highlight along with that is it all starts in the classroom. So 99% of our classes are taught by faculty. So your students and you all are not learning from graduate assistants, you're not learning from teacher assistants, you're learning from the source because that's what you pay for, just to be completely honest. So yeah, you'll be getting the same resources, learning from those experts. You'll be getting some hands-on experience, and you'll be getting that real-world experience whenever internships and other opportunities start to come your way. Another thing we like to highlight at EIU this year is that we are moving to test optional, and we are also accepting test courses from the standardized testing. But test optional is something that we've been planning on here at EIU for a while now, just to kind of just break down those barriers of some of the standardized testing ideals and policies that were in place for us. So along with our test optional route, we do offer some automatic distinguished merit scholarships. So students can just apply to Eastern, send in their transcripts, and they could potentially qualify for some automatic scholarship money. So just to get a quick glance at these. So students that do go the test optional route, if they have a 3.3 to a 3.5, they automatically qualify for a $2,000 scholarship. And this can be renewed for up to 8 consecutive semesters, which is all 4 years of college, which is just outstanding and is great. So moving up the ladder a little bit, once we get to that 3.6 to like a 3.8, students have a chance to get $3,000 a year, $12,000 total. And then finally, for those who are highly inclined academically, for those who have a 3.8 to all the way to a 4.0, they have a chance to get $4,000 annually, $16,000 total. So a lot of opportunities for students to save money, to further knock out that cost. We also have an aim high bonus, which is another incentive that we have to Illinois residents, and also just another few criteria to qualify for that. And that is an additional $500 to that scholarship. And those aren't the only scholarship opportunities that we do have. When I can get into those further whenever we break down into some questions. But yeah, EIU is a very welcoming place. Here we are sized for your success. And our motto, it is a life that is all in for you. And that starts with our professors, at the forefront, who go above and beyond for our students, who get them prepared to enter the professional world confident and ready to go. And then it goes all the way back to those who are behind the scenes, just like myself, Sierra, and Aaron, those in admissions and those in processing who will go up to bat for our students and make sure that they have a place to call them, to a place to call home. So Can't wait to tell you guys a little bit more about EIU, but I'll let Sierra finish this off.
All right, thank you. Excuse me, just bear with me for a moment, guys, as I try to navigate the slides. Can everybody hear me? All right, so again, my name is Sarah Gorey, and I'm the Regional Admissions Coordinator for Siu Carbondale. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight and taking time out of your day to just learn more about our in-state great institutions that are over on the state of Illinois side. Siu Carbondale is located 2 hours east of St. Louis, Missouri, and we have a total enrollment of just under 12,000 students. We also have over 200 areas of study, so there's definitely something for everyone on our campus. We have a 14-to-1 student to faculty ratio, which means that you're going to have hands-on experiences with your faculty members, and you're going to be able to really kind of gain relationships that are going to be meaningful to you as you embark on whatever educational journey or whatever your end goal is in terms of what you want to do with the rest of your life. We are a Research One university, which means that we produce a lot of knowledge. And because we're a Research One university, we encourage all of our undergraduate students to embark in some sort of creative activity or undergraduate research. On our campus, you can also get paid for things like this. So we have programs like Research Rookies. We have junior research academies. And we also have the McNair Scholars Program. And what students say that participate in undergraduate research is, it kind of just changes the entire dynamic of the learning experience. So when you go to college, the most important thing that you want to kind of consider is, what am I contributing to this great body of work that I'm also learning about? And so when you get research opportunities, you're able to kind of partake in the building of knowledge. And then you can also mold relationships with your faculty members. So that is something that we pride ourselves at Siu Carbondale, is that we enjoy our students having those sorts of opportunities. Just a little bit about Carbondale itself. Carbondale is about 2,000 acres. We sit in the Shawnee National Forest, which is a beautiful land reserve. There are hiking trails. We have camping, hunting, fishing. If you're into the outdoor scene, our rec center actually rents out camping equipment so that you can participate in some things like that. So we are very we just love the outdoors. And not only is the surrounding area beautiful, but our campus is too. We have over 10 different biking trails that you can partake in if that's something that you're interested in participating in on campus. We also have a beautiful campus lake that's nestled around our Thompson Point area. So students have opportunity to do paddle boats. There's actually a small beach. So there's lots of recreation and things that you can do on our campus. We have over 998 faculty members. 17% of our students do come from out of state. So we are a global campus, and we welcome students from all walks and breeds of life. One of the most exciting things that SIU now offers all of our students from across the country is we no longer charge any sort of out-of-state tuition. So what that means is the same price that a local resident of Carbondale will pay tuition, that is exactly what you would pay in tuition as well. And then also 90% of our students do receive some sort of financial aid. So we do try to make it very affordable and accessible. 35% of our students are some sort of minority, and we just pride ourselves on having a very diverse and inclusive campus. So a little bit more about Carbondale. What is a Saluki? So a Saluki is an Egyptian running dog, and just a little bit of history. So Carbondale is known, Southern Illinois used to be known as Little Egypt. And to kind of go in that vein, the founders of the university found that the Saluki, being a very fast Egyptian running dog, was just a way to go in terms of who our mascot is. So that's just a little history for you. So in terms of what we have to offer outside of our academic programs, we have over 15 D1 sports. So there's something for everybody. And as a student to the university, you have access to go to all of our games for free. And basically your student ID is your ticket into the games. We have over 300 registered student organizations. So something that's really important, I think, is when you are deciding whether to go in-state or out-of-state to college, is if you're going out-of-state, you might not know a lot of people. But joining a RSO or student organization is something that can definitely help you build friends and build relationships right away. And it's not something that it basically is an easy button to making friends and just really trying to build your own sense of community. We also have a wonderful universities honors program that kind of couples into the creative activities that we encourage all of our undergraduate students to participate in. And the honors program comes with a lot of other benefits, but mostly just we ask that the students are just challenging or thinking critically on areas that they're studying in order to grow that body of knowledge. One other thing that I love about our new housing options is that we have an anytime meal plan, which allows for our students to eat at any of our dining centers anytime that they are open. So you don't have to worry about, purchasing 2 meals a day or whatever the different types of meal plans that other institutions may offer, but ours is anytime. And so we also find that students are just more able to live and do the things that they need to do without having those other sorts of constraints on them. Another wonderful program that we offer is our study abroad. As a graduate student, I was able to take a study abroad program through SIU, and it was amazing. It was very life-changing. I encourage any student that's going to a full university to participate in a study abroad experience. And it's not necessarily you have to pick a study abroad that's in your particular major. You can study abroad in any different curriculum or whatever trips are happening throughout the year. You can actually join. Obviously, you want it to align with your curriculum, but there's still great opportunities just for a world of learning. And then we were also noted as one of the top 100 safest campuses in America. So as you can see here on the slide, there's a few pictures of campus. Like I mentioned, in the bottom right corner, there's a young man riding a bike through some of our forest or wooded areas on campus. To the left of that, there is an area shot of our campus. The top right corner is our Saluki Express Bus. This bus is also free to all students. And what's neat about it is we do allow all of our freshman students to bring cars, but if you don't have a car, we've got a bus service that'll make sure to get you where you need to go. And that's on campus and off of campus. And then to the left of that photo is our university pedestrian bridge. So the towers will be the buildings in the back of that photo, but then students get to main campus by walking over our pedestrian bridge. At SIU, we invest in our students. So we have what we call a truth in tuition. And that means that the cost of your tuition when you start your journey at SIU won't change until you complete your bachelor's degree. We also have a legacy alternate tuition rate. So if you have a mom, dad, or a stepmom or a stepdad or a legal guardian that is an alumni of the university, you are automatically going to be awarded the legacy tuition rate. So if that's something that you may or you're questioning, please don't hesitate to reach out to me and I can confirm that for you, and then we can move forward. Then we also have a host of academic scholarships, kind of piggybacking off of what Joe said in terms of our new scholarships. We're kind of following the trend. So last December, SIU has gone test optional. So we don't require an ACT or an SAT score to be admitted. And just 2 weeks ago, we have now become test optional in terms of our merit-based scholarships. So they're all listed on our website, but basically, as long as you are admitted to the university, you will receive some sort of academic scholarship from us. And this is something that I'm so happy to share because again, sometimes those tests can be barriers for students, and we just want to be a true accessible university for everyone. Like I mentioned, over 90% of our students do receive some sort of financial aid from us. And then the university awards about $10 million annually in scholarships and grants. So that is just a bit about the university. We are open for visitors. Like I said, we are 2 hours east of St. Louis. So you can go to our website and schedule a visit. You can schedule an appointment with me and we can meet virtually to answer any questions that you do have. But I strongly encourage you to take a trip down to Southern, and you definitely won't regret it. And I am going to now kind of segue into our question and answer kind of portion of the presentation. So I'm going to turn it back over to Aaron, and I'm also going to exit out of this so that we all can.
Well, thank you, Sierra. And yeah, we've got some questions that were sent in ahead of time, and we're going to try to go through those, let everybody get a really good idea of what students from Missouri typically are asking us, and we'll go through that. So I'm going to start with you, Joe, and then we'll go to Sierra, and then I'll finish. And the first question was, do you have any new or distinctive programs on your campus that you want to highlight?
Absolutely. So kind of like I stated before, our education department is superb here at Eastern. We are definitely known for our education majors, but some new and distinctive programs that we have here to offer. We were fortunate enough to receive a very generous loan to start up our new nursing program. So nursing is coming to Eastern. That'll be a great addition to our campus. And also we have electrical engineering. That is another big major that we also going to have on campus as well. So for those who are excited in either of those two, you'll have your chance at Eastern to do that.
And I'll jump in. Our newest and most exciting program, I think, is fermentation science. So if you may have an interest in making your own beer or making your own wine, that's something that you can definitely study at Siu Carbondale, and it's within our School of Agriculture. Some other areas that aren't new, but then there's still kind of some special niches that we have are mortuary science, dental hygiene, and there was one, aviation is a very popular area.
At Illinois Springfield, being in the state capital, and I touched on it earlier, is that we have great majors in the public policy side. So that's political science, criminology, social work, psychology, and law. And a couple examples of that is, first, for any student that wants to go into political science, one of our students was just elected by all the students in the state of Illinois to represent all college students on the Illinois Board of Education Committee. Those are the types of opportunities our kids are getting by being in the state capitol. We had the FBI on our campus on the 4th day of class for the 4th year in a row, recruiting freshmen to already start internships at the FBI. And we have 2 other really distinctive programs. One is for students that want to go into law. We are the only school right now in the nation without a law school on our campus that houses an Innocence Project. What an Innocence Project is where our students, again, starting their freshman year if they want, work with lawyers to exonerate or free somebody right now serving time in prison for a crime they haven't committed. To give you an example, Northwestern University, another school in Illinois, has this program, and you have to be in law school at that program to be a part of it. Our kids are doing what their law school kids are doing their freshman year. And so it builds an amazing resume if you want to go into law school. And finally, we have one of the top 4 child advocacy programs in the world. If you want to work with education as a nurse, psychology, social work, we will teach you how to work with families and kids and keep youth safe. This is the program where everybody in social work in the state of Illinois basically has to come to our campus and train. We put you through real world simulations. We have a simulation lab. We have actors. There's cameras all over the place. They go through it with you. It's basically a safe environment to train on what you might see in the real world. So those are some of the distinct and really different programs we have. And that leads me to the second question. We'll start with you, Sierra. Are your scholarships awarded automatically? And can you go through what the application process looks like now that you went test options?
Great question. And actually, thank you, whoever asked that, because I forgot to mention that our application is actually free right now until October 31st. So it will cost you nothing to apply. And if you have over a 2.75 GPA, you will be awarded some sort of merit-based scholarship. So outside of the free application, we do ask that you submit your application by November 1st to be automatically awarded those merit-based scholarships. After you've been admitted to the university and you've made the deadline by December 1st, for those higher achieving students that may come into, you may be invited to compete for our University Chancellor Scholarship, which is our full ride scholarship. So the timeline after that is basically you'll have your application and be admitted by December 1st. And then we invite students down to campus around mid-February to interview for our full ride scholarship.
All right, thank you for that, Sierra. We too are offering a free application for those who are interested in applying to Eastern Illinois University. That application is free until, I believe, October 15th. I believe they might be in talks of pushing that deadline back. We're still waiting to see, but the only thing you need to submit as far as your application process is concerned is your application, and then request your high school transcripts be submitted to us. And then that is honestly all. And then for those who do decide to take the SAT or the ACT and they want to submit those test scores, you have the opportunity to do that as well. But yeah, so you have chances to receive some of our, just like I spoke about earlier, automatic merit scholarships, which are very beneficial, but also want to plug in our academic works search engine that we have here at Eastern as well. So this is a site that a lot of our students utilize. It has 800 scholarships, and all students have to do is go in, submit some basic information as far as like their name, GPA, and then possibly their major, and then our engine compiles all these scholarships and puts them directly at your fingertips. So that just gives your students another chance to get their name inside that candidate pool, another chance to get some additional scholarship money as well.
Well, thanks, Joe. Illinois Springfield, we are also test optional. And what we're looking for is your application, your GPA, what you're involved in. And we do have an essay that's part of that as well. That gives you a chance to really tell us what we don't already know. And that's basically the prompt. What do you need us to know about you that's not already in your application? You get a chance to write about it. If you wrote an essay for Common App or for a different school, you can submit that as well. We're really open on that. But in terms of scholarships, yes, we offer tons of merit scholarships. They start automatically once you're admitted based on your GPA. And those go all the way up to a complete full ride in our honors program, which covers full tuition, housing, food, and fees. And so that's automatic if you're admitted to honors and you meet the certain criteria for that scholarship. So really cool. And I know we've got a lot of different ways that we're going to make coming to Illinois, crossing that river, affordable for you at all three campuses. The next question then, and Joe, we'll start with you this time. What is the area like surrounding your campus?
Great question. Charleston itself is a fairly quiet town or city, you know, not too much happening on the weekdays, but that's good though, because you're going to be in the classroom regardless. So that's where all your attention should be. Just go right up the road, about 45 minutes north, you'll find Champaign. That's always a nice getaway for students who like to have a lot more food variety as far as those options are concerned. And then, yeah, as I spoke about earlier, St. Louis, so home for a lot of you all, or Missouri, sorry about that. It's just right down the road. So it's far enough to get away from the parents, but it's okay to go home on a weekend or so as well. So you get the best of both worlds here at Charleston.
I'll jump in. Carbondale is actually a wonderful place to live and learn. I actually grew up in Carbondale. So the town is about 26,000 people, but there's tons to do in terms of for social life. There is we call it the strip that's like right off of campus. So there are local eateries, there's a Newman Center, there's apartments, there's like bars and kind of other hangout spots that are really close to campus. And then I mentioned earlier that we're in the Shawnee National Forest. So if you like to be in the outdoors, that's definitely a place for you. We've got wine trails. There's a zip lining course if you are adventurous and like to kind of take thrills. And then one of the other things is that there are tons of industry in Carbondale that you are able to kind of get your foot in the door for real world experiences.
Yeah, that's awesome. And yes, Carbondale and Charleston are great places. And Springfield, a little bit different because both of those schools are going to be a little bit larger than we are in terms of total enrollment. So our campus tends to be a little bit quieter. We're surrounded by cornfields, but don't let that scare you. We actually own all of that land, which helps us make us one of the safest college campuses, especially in cities of over 100,000 people. Springfield, about 120,000, state capital, tons of different restaurants, businesses, employment opportunities, internship opportunities right off campus. Freshmen can have their car, and we do not have a parking problem on campus. It costs $88 a year to bring your car to our campus as a freshman, and you get to park right across the street. One of the advantages of those nice cornfields around our campus. The next question that we got, and Sierra, we'll start with you, is what are some of the most popular extracurricular activities on campus?
Well, we have over 200 areas, over 300, registered student organizations. So there's definitely something for everybody. But I would say the most popular kind of thing that students do is join the Dog Pound. So the Dog Pound is basically a fan club. So it costs $20. You get a t-shirt, and then you get a discount card for, you get discounts all over Carbondale. But it's just a easy way to meet friends and just join in all of the Saluki traditions by going to sports. The only rule that the Dog Pound has is that you have to come to the game and stay until the very end. And so that just, no matter if the team is winning or losing, you'll be a part of the fan base and just a part of the culture. So that's probably the most exciting thing that a lot of students take part in.
Okay. Here at Eastern, we don't have quite as many registered student organizations. Here we have about over 200. So just like Sierra said, there's pretty much something for everybody here. So our organizations stem from faith-based organizations. We have over 30 fraternities and sororities. We have some of our cultural groups as well. We have an African Student Union. We have a Latino organization as well. Some of the things, we have a Harry Potter club that's usually fairly popular on campus. We also have LARPing. So for those who are interested in that as well, you can participate in the quad. It's usually a big event, swords, shields, you name it, it's out there. But yeah, basically there's something for everybody here on campus. So you can find your niche here.
Yeah, Illinois Springfield, kind of on the other side of that, we've got about 100. So you can see size-wise about how big each of our universities are. So we've got about 100 different registered student organizations, fraternities, sororities, things like that. A few of the most popular things on campus, one is our dodgeball club. That's probably one of the biggest student organizations on campus. We have a sailing club. We're right next to Lake Springfield, so there's actually a couple real nice sailboats that some of our students use there. But our biggest event of the year is always Spring Fest. That happens every year in April, and students will form teams of 12 to 16 people, and they'll compete in everything you can even imagine. Scavenger hunts, trivia contests, collection of canned goods, all these different stuff, skits and things during the week. And then the weekend is a sports weekend where they compete in kickball, flag football, softball, mini golf, disc golf. And it finishes off with mud tug of war. That's always the big event everybody's going crazy for because you actually match up and go against the team right next to you in the standings. So that's probably our biggest event of the year. The last question that we got is about right now with your campus and everything going on with COVID and safety. Are you open for tours? Can students visit? And why don't we let you go, Joe, and we'll go through again.
Yes, Eastern is still offering on-campus daily tour visits. So right now, our 2 visit schedules are lined up for either a 10 a.m. visit or a 2 p.m. visit. We have that Monday through Friday. So for those who are interested, I highly encourage you to visit our admissions webpage. So just to get a little bit more information about how to register for those. And we also have some Saturday options as well. So for those who can't make it on those weekdays, we have Saturday visits that are open. So highly recommend you all check out our admissions website to come and see campus. It's a very unique experience here at Eastern, and fall is coming up. So that just makes it 10 times better as well.
To piggyback off that, When you come to Illinois, come and visit us all. Make it a weekend trip, make it a long, a lot of schools do offer their senior students opportunities to have excused absences to take trips down to campuses. So very important if you can, get on whatever campus that you're seriously considering. My one piece of advice is at least have applied to the institution that you're going to visit so that your visit is even more meaningful when you do get to campus. We are open for visitors, but we do have COVID restrictions. So our visitors, we're not open. We don't have as many spaces available in one day. So if you do want to come, please have your calendar open, and it may be a couple of weeks out. But one of the neat things that we are able to still provide is one-on-one meetings with whatever department you may be interested in visiting with. So go to our website, admissions.siu.edu/visit, and sign up for a campus tour.
Again, we are open at Illinois Springfield. We're actually united in safety. And maybe some of you have heard of the new COVID testing through the U of I system. We test our students, faculty, staff at least once a week. And don't worry, we're not sticking anything up anybody's nose. All right, it's a saliva test. You're spitting. And just so you know, all the horror stories you're hearing in the country, that is not happening at Illinois Springfield. Last week, we had 0 positive tests on Wednesday, 0 positive tests on Thursday, 0 positive tests on Friday. We had a big jump of 1 on Monday, and then we're back to 0 today. So our students, our staff, our faculty are really respecting one another, and that's allowing us to open up our campus definitely for visitors. We have tours. We have one-on-one appointments with counselors. You're going to be able to experience that. And we also, just like all 3 of us, are offering virtual visits as well. So if for some reason it doesn't work coming, all of us, if you go to our visit page, you can set up an individual visit with each of us as counselors, sometimes virtual visits, sometimes Zoom visits. You can set up quick phone calls, and we'd be happy to work with you and your family and answer those questions. We have virtual tours on our websites. So whichever way works, we'd love to have you on campus. Know that that's an option right now in Illinois, no matter what you're hearing in Missouri. But I'm telling you, we've got the stuff virtually as well. Last thing I want to give, because we've got about 4 minutes before we got to close this up. What's your one best tip that you can give a high school senior going through this process? And Joe, why don't we start with you, man?
Ooh, great question. And to that question, I would say ask questions. Ask questions. Don't stop asking questions. Whether it be from professors trying to better understand the material in class, whether it be from your peers, whether it be from your roommate. It's always a good idea to network with those who are around you, and just to build those connections and keep those resources strong. So that'd be my advice.
I would say try to connect with an alumni, somebody that went to the university, may not have graduated, but has some sort of connection with the university, because they're going to give you a different story than what we might share with you, because at the end of the day, we all get paid. We want to put the best front or face on for the university, but you really want to find a good fit. You got to do some research and talk to some folks non-formally or informally.
And what I would say to you guys is my best tip is have fun and understand that this process is yours. It doesn't matter where your friends go. It doesn't matter, where the name that you think you need to be at to go where you need to. All of us have really famous alumni that would blow your mind in terms of the jobs that they got leaving our institutions. Find the school that's the right fit. And guess what? Wherever you go, you're going to make some best friends that are going to be your friends for the rest of your life. I mean, it's crazy to think of right now. The studies show you'll only talk to 1 kid from your high school in 5 years. That's it. You're going to talk to 7 5 years after college regularly, because they chose a campus because it was the right fit for them. They didn't go to the school because they lived in a town. They chose the school because it's the right fit. And so those students tend to have the same ideas, the same values. It doesn't mean that they all want to do the same thing. They're not all the same, but they want that similar experience. And typically when you have that, those are people you want to be friends with, that you want to hang out with. And then that allows you to feel comfortable. And when you feel comfortable on your college campus, you join clubs and organizations, you get involved, and you take the steps necessary to get that great internship and job, because it's just the right place. So thank you guys so much for and gals for coming out tonight. I know it's late. I know you got school tomorrow. At least it's Friday tomorrow. All right. But thank you so much. We loved having you, and we definitely look forward to connecting with many of you over the next couple weeks and months. So thank you.
Okay, everyone. Well, thank you to our presenters. You guys were awesome. I was taking notes here, and I have students as a counselor. I have students at all of your institutions who are having great experiences, who are student athletes and very involved and doing research and all those things. So I can say definitely these are 3 great institutions. Great way to get away from Missouri a little bit, but still be close enough to come home if you need to. So it's a nice distance, I think, and you all have lovely campuses. Been to all of them as well too. Great cities, and so thank you guys for sharing, panelists tonight, and thank you students and families for joining us. Again, we really appreciate you being here and participating in this virtual fair that we're launching this year. Quick survey will pop up as soon as we end the session. There's only 4 questions. We appreciate your feedback. And lastly, as a reminder, the recording of this session will be on our website, as well as more sessions coming up over the next 3 weeks. And that website again is moacac.org. So that's it for me. Again, thank you to our presenters, and everyone stay safe out there. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Michelle. Bye, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Yeah, bye, guys.